The mainline Pokemon games are known for having a whole lot of variety when it comes to the different features featured in each game. From things like Mega Evolution to following Pokemon, we can see that Game Freak over the years has carefully curated different features for each generation of Pokemon. Some of these features, of course, are more liked than others, but that really only comes down to your own personal opinion. As we have gone further throughout each generation, we have seen Game Freak put a lot more unique features into the games, and it's actually really cool to see them branch out and try new things. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Willardy, and in today's video I'm going to look at my own favorite features in the mainline Pokemon games and explain exactly why I love these features. Note that these are in no particular order, so these aren't ranked in order by any means. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I will be making a video where I discuss my least favorite features as well, so you definitely want to stick around to see that. Also, make sure to go down in the comments below and let me know what your favorite feature in Pokemon is. I'd love to hear them. With that being said, let's hop into the first feature that I'd like to discuss today. When Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were announced, Pokemon fans rolled their eyes because we were yet again going back to Kanto. I was one of those people. While I was excited to shiny hunt in a new game, as well as being able to record content a lot easier with the availability of the Nintendo Switch, I really didn't want the first experience on the Switch to be in Kanto. I also know that a lot of people really dislike the catching system and a lack of battling of wild Pokemon. While I was still personally on the fence with how this was implemented, I still had a lot of fun playing through the game, catching all the Pokemon, and shiny hunting in the end. There are a lot of things to love about this game when looking back on it, but if I had to choose one, it would have to do with the feature that I think a lot of people appreciated, and that was following Pokemon. I loved following Pokemon in this game. Their animations and their overworld models looked amazing. However, this isn't my favorite feature in the Pokemon games. My favorite feature is actually a subset of following Pokemon, which would have to be how you can ride a lot of these Pokemon. From being able to ride a Pokemon such as Arcanine or Onix, or being able to fly on the back of a Charizard, was an amazing addition to an already beautiful looking game. Game Freak already had this feature present somewhat in Sun and Moon with the HM-based Pokemon using the Page Rider, but I think Let's Go made an incredible change when they allowed you to ride any of these Pokemon at any time. While I'm sad to see riding Pokemon not to have returned in Pokemon Sword and Shield's DLC, I appreciated it for the small amount of time that I did play the Let's Go games, and it was awesome. Taking a step back a few generations, let's take a look at the games that I played most as a child. When Pokemon Diamond and Pearl first released for the Nintendo DS, I remember all of my friends in middle school being super excited to get their hands on these games. We would play the crap out of these games during lunch and share stories about our adventures when we saw each other throughout the week. At the time as a kid, I really didn't know much about what is probably my favorite feature of all of Pokemon, the Pokey Radar. I know that the Pokey Radar is present in Generation 6 with X and Y, but I actually never used it as much due to the changed mechanics and the weird feeling of doing radar in a 3D-based environment. I also never used Pokey Radar in Generation 4 until I got back into shiny hunting in 2018, but immediately fell in love with this mechanic. I have always liked endgame type rewards for Pokemon, and I think having the Pokey Radar, a machine to get shinies easier, is definitely a cool one. Sure, the Pokey Radar can scare a lot of people off because it is somewhat complicated, and once you get the system down, however, you are almost guaranteed a shiny by the end of your radar sessions. Sure, the path there is tedious, but almost always worth it in the end. If you're a shiny hunter who hasn't tried Radar in Generation 4, I highly recommend giving it a shot. Also, with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl coming out this week, we are bound to see new and improved Radar with these games. I know that leaks have been coming out for these games regarding the Pokey Radar, but I will be avoiding them as to not to spoil it for people who want to remain leak-free. Overall, Pokey Radar, 10 out of 10, probably my favorite shiny hunting method and my favorite feature in all of Pokemon. The next feature on my list I think is something that a lot of Pokemon fans can agree with me on and really added a lot of spice when it came to the Alola region when it first came out in 2016. When we first got a taste at regional forms back in 2016, I don't think anyone was really mad about this. Regional forms of Pokemon can breathe new life into those who really haven't gotten any love since the generations they were first introduced in. Alolan, Meowth, and Rattata gave Pokemon new and exciting typing and actually made them viable in casual playthroughs. On top of that, there are a lot of cool regional forms that have come out in Sword and Shield. Galarian Farfetch'd and Sirfetch'd are probably the best regional forms out there in my opinion. Game Freak actually brought to life an old cut evolution of Farfetch'd, which props to them. Forms like Corsola and Corsola add a bit more depth to the Pokemon world once you take a look at their Pokedex entries and know the backstory of Corsola and Marini from Sun and Moon. Even the new form of Growlithe that was announced for Pokemon Legends Arceus is super cool. Growlithe literally adapted to live in the harsh and cold environment of the Hisui region, which we now know as Sinnoh. Small things like this make regional forms super cool, and I hope in future generations they give some amazing regional forms with even cooler backstories as we enter Generation 9. Finally, the last feature that I will be discussing on this list may be a little biased because I am an avid shiny hunter, but that would have to be the addition of the shiny charm. I know this isn't necessarily a very tangible feature like Mega Evolutions or the Pokey Radar, but the shiny charm from at least Black and White 2 to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire actually felt like a super cool achievement. In those games, you actually needed to complete the full National Pokedex in order to get this key item. This is no small feat for anyone who's played Pokemon. In the newer games such as Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, you actually only had to complete the regional Pokedex, and I don't see that going back to the National Dex anytime soon due to Game Freak and now seemingly Ilka's stance on the whole situation. Even so, before Black and White 2, you really didn't get much for completing the Pokedex, maybe a diploma or a stamp on your trainer card. It really felt worthless unless you were a completionist at heart and wanted to catch them all. Adding something like the shiny charm not only gave people a reason for completing the full National Dex, or the regional Dex in Sword and Shield's case, but also brought more and more people into the shiny hunting community, a community that I have really grown to love over the last couple of years. Sure, the shiny charm may take away some rarity of shiny Pokemon, but I really don't think that matters. They are still a grind to obtain if you aren't using any of the other methods to hunt, such as Dynamax Adventure or SOS chaining, which are completely optional anyways. Shiny Charm will always be one of my favorite additions to Pokemon's endgame, even if I am a little biased. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that about does it for this video. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button as it really does help out me and the channel. Again, let me know down below what your favorite Pokemon feature is, and I'll be seeing you all soon. I'm sure I'll get a lot of Battle Towers from Generation 3 because people absolutely love that. I can't say a whole lot on that because I've never really used it. Anyways, that is all from me. I'll be seeing you soon, as I said. Have a good one.